Recording in progress.
Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I don't take life for granted. I don't take you for granted. I'm happy and grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, as I say every week, for allowing this 30 minutes to be accountability for me and me accountability for you. I do not take that for granted. I'm so happy and I'm grateful. I want to remind you, because it's Meal Prep Monday, we're prepping our mind. We're learning to shift our perspective in everything that we do. I want to remind you today that you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things, because you are great. You are created in greatness. Your original DNA is great. You are spirit first. We got to get this in our mind. I told you, and I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks, when I ask, who are you? When someone sees you and wonders who you are greatly loved. That's who you are. I am greatly loved. We're greatly loved. We are loved. And we are love. Everything that we produce, everything that we desire, it is based on love. That's why anything that goes against it, it doesn't feel good to us. It frustrates us. It aggravates us. It irritates us. Why? Because that is not who we are originally created to be. And while we're learning to be the best versions of us, unapologetically, I need for y'all to get that in that belly, in that gut, in the depth of your soul. You are not, who you are is not defined by what someone else thinks. Note takers are money makers. Write that down. Who you are is not defined by what someone else thinks, what someone else has told you, what someone else may say, even the negative seeds that have tainted us. That is not who you are. So even when your own self try to come play with you, I need for you to understand today, you are great. You are wonderful. You are above and never beneath. You're the head and not the tail. Trials and tribulations come, but they don't define you, because who you are is who you are. You're created in love. You are loved. Man, listen, it's Meal Prep Monday. And I know that, or what I feel is, even in these Meal Prep Monday calls, I do these so that we can begin to shift our perspective for the week. But I've noticed that in this new norm for me, it's allowing me to take time to really see me. It's allowing me, because see, a lot of times we are so caught up on life, journey, bills, work, people, things that we do, all these roles that we play, that we forget us unconsciously. But I'm here to remind you that you are loved. Why do I keep saying that? Because if we can understand that we're loved, if you think about someone that you love in the depth of your belly, no matter what they do, you keep going back. If you think about that person, I need for you to know, whatever that feeling is you have for that person, there is a God in heaven. Jehovah God loves you more than you could ever think or imagine. It's nothing that we could do that could separate us from the love of God. When we choose to be out of his will, all that does is bring consequences to us in this journey, but it never stops the love. I need y'all to get that. Somebody needs to get that. When we can really understand that it ain't based off of what Kiki or Day Day say about me. It ain't based on Shanae. It ain't based on none of that. Nothing I could do can stop me from being loved. So I am loved. If this convicts you, get your little heart right. Stop being nasty. Don't be mean. Don't be ugly. Don't walk in frustration. Don't walk in depression. Don't walk wanting to get back at people. You don't fight your battles like that. We're spirit being first. Man, I keep trying to get to my notes. We're spirit being first. I don't have to fight nothing naturally. Stop trying to fight people and things naturally. You better than that. Stop fighting yourself naturally. We're better than all this, okay? This journey does not define us. Man, I done lost my hold on, y'all. Find my book. But I want to go back because I want us to I talked about, because I forgot that I didn't do that, but I want to go back to us really knowing to be the best version of you unapologetically. You got to understand that we're spirit with a soul wrapped in this flesh. I don't care what nobody say a thing. Call me cray, call me whatever you want to. I will let anyone who is willing to listen to me know that I am supernatural. Okay? I'm a supernatural being. Okay? That does not mean that I'm over here thinking that I'm about to float, but I ain't saying that it wouldn't happen. If God say so, he'll do it. But that ain't what I'm trying to do. I ain't trying to elevate off the ground and none of that foolery. But what I'm saying is I understand that I'm a supernatural being. Okay? The reason I keep saying this, I understand that I'm loved. I need you to understand that you're loved. There's nothing you can do that can separate yourself from this unconditional love. But what happens is when we can get in our head that who we really are, not defined on what people say, not even defined on how we feel, a different level of conviction, the bubble guts that we get, whatever y'all want to call it, this whole, in our mind when we're doing things that could separate us from this love, we begin to understand that that's the feeling that we had. Now, why am I going into all of this on Meal Prep Monday? Because I want you to shift your perspective. When you're dealing with coworkers, when you're dealing with family members, when you're dealing with your daggone selves, okay? Anything that brings a negative feeling to you, it is not who you are and it's not of you. It's not for you, okay? Meal Prep Monday, we got to shift our perspective because our days are going to come. Now, I'm just grateful that I'm in the day because someone doesn't have today. Okay, when we can start looking at this journey in the way to be the best versions of us, we're submitting to this love. We're submitting to Jehovah God. Okay, I don't care what you believe. It don't matter to me because at the end of the day, what you can't change is that you're spirit. At the end of the day, what you can't change is that you have a soul. At the end of the day, what you can't change is that you're in this flesh. And at the end of the day, what you cannot change is the death, the sting of death. All right? It just is what it is. So we got to begin to understand that we're spirit first. So we're in this journey preparing ourselves for our final destiny. And what we can't get back is time. We can't get back is time. If I could pause time and go back to January 12th at 12:43, because the call came at 12:44. My God. Whew. You just don't understand. But I have to understand that time don't stop for me. It don't stop for you. So when we start looking at things differently, we won't give our energy and our time to these things that don't deserve it. We won't keep giving our energy and our time to people, places, and things that don't deserve it. Because we'll understand who we are. We'll understand whose we are. So I say we're learning to be the best version of us. Y'all do realize that your whole journey is already predestined and is pre-made. Y'all realize that, right? Your greatness is already written out, okay? We win the war, y'all. Every battle we might not win through this journey, but ultimately we win the war. It's a fixed fight, and we've already won. So why am I saying all this on Meal Prep Monday? I need for you to understand who you are. I need for you to understand that you were created in perfection. When we get to final destiny, we will be whole, complete, and perfect. But in this, we're created in perfection. So right now, in the state of our flesh, we're imperfect, striving for perfection. Stop being so hard on yourself to where when these negative things are spoken to you, you're so quick to grab it and identify with it. We can't keep doing that. Okay? You're not what your coworker think. Just because they trying to irritate you, don't get irritated because you better. All right? You're not what your family member think. Do you know that you're so great that sometimes the closest people to you got a little bit of hateration? And sometimes they don't even understand it. This is why you can't get mad. You don't get mad at people. Listen, I am trying to be very intentional that when I feel that feeling of anger, when I feel that emotion of anger and all of that, that I don't stay there long. Because I understand that it's not the person that's robbing me, it's the feeling. And I'm not willing to give myself to these feelings and these emotions, okay? Especially when it's someone I care about. I'm not willing to beef with you. I ain't even willing to beef with someone I don't care about because you really not worth my time then. But when we start really looking that I'm valuable, my time is important, my peace is relevant, all of that, we start looking at things differently, okay? So it's Meal Prep Monday. I want you to remember this because like I said last week, we are one. It's me. I am Nicole Denise Johnson Jones. There is no other me. There is no other you. But inside of me, I have all these little self parts, okay? I have rejection, I have giving, I have love, I have abandonment. I have all these little parts inside of me. And this is why I keep saying, if we could really start focusing on us, if we submit to Jehovah God and we focus on us, because there's so much in us, there is so much in yourself that you won't even worry about all that other foolery. Because it's just that it's foolishness that's trying to stop you from being great, okay? We are on this being the best version of us unapologetically. We on this kick right now, right? Matter of fact, mine ain't gonna change till I stop breathing. But in that, we have to understand to get there, we gotta be willing to look at us. So I encourage you, as you prepare for the week, don't get caught up in the foolishness. Don't get caught up in what people say and think. Okay, we're not brushing stuff under the carpet, but hit it and quit it and learn how to agree to disagree. It's not that serious or that deep. And if it's something that you feel like you gotta get your point across, remember that you spirit first and that you can't even control you. So why do you think you can control someone else? You can't. You gotta learn how to fight. This is how I fight my battles. Okay? It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by spirit. I'm surrounded in a supernatural place, okay? You got to learn how to fight in the right space. What's done in heaven comes and manifests itself here on earth. So somebody working your nerve, give it to God in prayer. Now, Nicole, I don't pray. Listen, y'all do realize that prayer is just conversation. So instead of picking up the phone and talking about this person to someone, pick up King Jesus and talk to him. Because it's the Holy Spirit that is the only person that can go and change someone. You can't. Okay? You can try to manipulate them, and then you're wrong. Because now you walk in the spirit of manipulation. You go try to bribe someone and get your way. Shame on you. But you got to learn how to fight your battles. And you're doing it this way. Why? Because you being the best version of you. Because you don't want to walk through the day frustrated, irritated, and all that other negative stuff that just make you get tension knots in your neck, like I get, and this and that. I literally got to go in the pursuit of me trying to be intentional to do everything I'm telling y'all. So why am I saying that? This ain't no walk in the park, y'all. But it is doable, and it's worth it. It's worth it. My peace, my joy, my serenity, my love, all of it's worth the fight. If we're gonna fight, fight for yourself. Okay? When depression tries to come and make you stay in the bed, fight for yourself. If we're gonna put time and energy into anything, put it into you. Because I promise you, if you take the time to black out on somebody, they're going to walk away, laugh at you, go on with their day, and you over here knotted up. Okay? You over here robbed from your day. You look up and it's 9 o'clock and you done lost the whole day. Your kids been sitting in the room, ain't even go outside because you so caught up in the wrong thing. Meal Prep Monday. I want you to understand, when you think of you, I need for you to know that you're loved unconditionally by the one person that matters, and that's Jehovah God. And I need you to get that in you so that you're intentional to want to have a relationship right there, just like you want to have one with the one who don't even like you. That part. We will put so much time and energy into someone or something that all they want to do is take from us. They just want to suck me dry. Just why you got to learn how to love you. So when you start getting that little feeling, like, no, this ain't for me. You're able to love on you enough that you can walk away from what your flesh even desires. Why? Because you're spirit beings. I also want you to know that anytime we're not walking in the best version of us, we're walking in self-deception. And self-deception is the worst deception to have, okay? Anytime we're beneath what we really are and what we deserve, we're doing an injustice to ourselves, okay? Am I trying to pump you up? Indeed I am, right? Because you're worth it. But I'm doing this to shift your perspective. Because even if you can't believe you about what I'm saying, I hope at this point, if you've been tapping in with me this long, you believe something I say. Believe that I believe for you. Because it's easier for me to believe for you than it is for me to believe for me. All right? It takes work for me to understand that I am loved in spite of my flaws. Because life will remind you of everything you do wrong. You could do 99, especially all right? You could do 99 things right. But when we reminisce, why do y'all reminisce about what I did wrong? Why we gotta remember that? It's just the way that we're wired as human beings in this flesh. And even if their motive is not good and their motive is not impure, it's still a negative seed that's dropped. And there's this enemy that wants to kill, steal, and destroy us 24/7. He never sleeps. He never stops. Okay? So when we start feeling good and we start going in the right road and the right way, he's just waiting to trip us up. But this is why I say, keep getting up. I encourage you today, keep getting up. Speak affirmations in your life. Clean up your environment. Only talk to people who are willing to pour good seed into you, who's willing to correct you in love, but cover you during correction. Don't correct me and then go talk about me. Correct me and love me through it, because that's what I'm doing for you. Okay? You got to love you enough that you want your environment healthy, that you want it peaceful, that you want it to where it's helping you grow and you have like-minded people around you. You got to want to level up for yourself. If you can't, then you're going to be stagnant. Well, Nicole, this is my homegirl. We've been friends forever. And this, that, cool. Why don't you level up and bring her with you? Bring him with you. All right? We're trying to be great. We're trying to be the best versions of us. And just so y'all know, and then I'm going to go, because I don't even know what time it is. Just so you know, your purpose, you're not looking for it, you're living it. You are purpose, okay? And your purpose is all great. We may not make the best decisions all the time. We might not cross every T and dot every I, but I need for you to understand that it's a fixed fight and you've already won. That's why I count it all joy. See, I can count my trials and tribulation joy because I'm trying to learn and grow from them. They don't feel good. But every time I don't feel good, I feed myself more to be victorious. Not through arrogance and pride, but submission and humility. I refuse to fall into defeat because I understand that I'm greater than that. I understand that even if I fall, my plan for this journey is not failure. You're not a failure. You're not any negative thing that someone has tried to say that you are. All right? Know that Instagram, they stunting for the gram, okay? Anyone who's posting a whole lot of junk, excuse me, it's not junk. Anyone who's posting a whole lot of stuff, I'm not saying they didn't do it. I'm not saying they didn't Photoshop it, but I wonder how long their money really run. Because wealthy people don't have to brag. When you have something, you don't have to brag about it. Now, why am I saying this? Ain't nothing wrong with social media, but use social media to benefit your wealth. Don't use it to get caught up on the Joneses, okay? Don't use it to face things that are illusional, okay? Because some of them people are delusional, all right? You want to build you. You want to have your foundation right. I don't post a lot of things because I'm not going to do it unless I'm living it, not for a day. And you can do things and, you go on vacations and you're able to experience these wonderful things because the moment I get on a jet, even if I don't own one yet, I'm going to post it. But I'm not saying not to do that. But what I am saying is live in a world of reality. Allow those things to come in. Allow those impressions to come in to help you strive for better. Strive for what you desire and what you deserve. All right? Because you're worth all of that. But don't look at it to where you're now comparing yourself and you're beating yourself up because you feel like you're not where you should be or where someone else is. Let me tell you something. As long as you're working on being the best version of you, you're right where you're supposed to be with all that you're supposed to have in that moment, and by faith knowing it's going to be greater later. All right? Somebody need to know that. So, again, Meal Prep Monday. I am Nicole D. Jones. I want you to continue to stay focused, stay humble, stay positive. Continue to be the best version of you, working on you, looking at you, submitting to Jehovah God, being humble in all that you do, knowing that as long as you're doing that, everything that your heart desire, you will have it. In this journey, you'll have it. So don't sweat the small stuff and don't worry about the foolishness. All right? It's not worth your time, strength, or energy. You're so much better than that. Okay? I am Nicole D. Jones. Continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.